Morning everybody. So today's the day for the Diabetes UK Wellness Walk here in Glasgow. We'll be starting in the next 10-15 minutes or so, doing a little warm up before we start the walk. So yeah, it's pretty busy. So the four of us are here, and Cheryl's just been that being in a minute. So yeah, so we're all here. The gang's all here today. Sharon's here, Cheryl, Christine. So Sharon's feeling a little bit tender this morning.
Sharon's hanging out her ass.
Well, there you go.
True story.
So anywho, yeah, so as I said, we'll keep these updated as we're going along. We'll put plenty of pictures and stuff up, and I'll take little videos of here and there and everywhere. So yeah, so we're good to go. Hopefully the rain will stay off. They are threatening thunderstorm for some point this afternoon, but we'll just need to wait and see. So anywho, almost upwards folks, I'll catch you in a bit. I'm fucking knackered already.
Rachel the Thornville Craig as well. No matter how much you race today, it is greatly appreciated for Diabetes UK.
This is us just coming up for the first mile. We're now down at the exhibition campus, the Scottish Exhibition Centre, the Hydro and the Armadillo. Yeah, it's nice. I'll pan this camera around a bit because I don't know how to switch it. And back to me again. There must be a good 1,000, 2,000 people here possibly today. So yeah, it's looking good. Feeling alright, so we shall keep going. So this is, we've now reached the Clyde. As you can see, BBC Scotland building in front of us. The dome looking one behind the half dome is the Glasgow Science Centre and the observation. So we'll be crossing over this bridge, over the Clyde, to walk, I think it's about 3/4 of a mile on the south bank of the river. And then we'll be going back over the suspension bridge to head into Glasgow Green, where I think we'll have a bit of a maybe 20-minute rest and then do the rest of it. But yeah, it's been great so far. We're just about to go into Glasgow Green for another half a mile, so we'll give us a bit of a break. We'll rest our legs and then we'll carry on with the rest of the walk. But I just wanted to show you, this was, I don't know if many of you guys can maybe remember, he's heard about it down in England, the pub that the helicopter crashed in Glasgow a good few years ago. That's it there, that's the Cliff of Vaults, which is right next to the Brigate, which is a famous building in Glasgow. It's had a lot of different things happen to it over the years. A beautiful building that kind of went into disrepair, but a lot of new companies have started to move into it, and they do a lot of arts and crafts things, retro clothing sales and things like that. And it's a beautiful building. This is the facade of it. Now, there are some really beautiful buildings in Glasgow city centre, but it does kind of break your heart to a certain extent, where Glasgow was known as the second city of the empire back in the Victorian days. You look back on it now, and even from when I was a kid walking through these streets, a lot of the buildings that I recognise are no longer here, and what's thrown up in their places is concrete and glass monstrosities. I'm not trying to sound about Big Charles here with the carbuncles and all the rest of it, but they just ruin a city skyline, to be honest. But anywho, we shall carry on. This is, we're now entering Glasgow Green. It's beautiful down here, it really is. They hold a lot of outdoor concerts and stuff like that down here. The World Bagpipe Championships, there's a lot of different festivals and things as well. But a little bit of history here, folks. This used to be, and you're not going to believe this, this is where the local women in Glasgow used to come down and they used what they called the local steamies, which was basically the public laundrettes. And Glasgow Green was where they used to hang their washings out. Would you believe that? Apparently back in the day, all you could see was sheets and clothes and stuff hanging on drying lines all over this park. But obviously it was, as time progressed, Glasgow City Council just turned it back into, turned it into the park it is just now. Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful here. Right in front of us, folks, is the People's Palace. I think it was erected in the Victoria era for the Great Exhibition or something like that. I'm not 100% sure, but it's been in a state of ruin for a good few years, and I think there's a big movement on at the moment to try and raise funds to restore it all back to its former glory. And as I say, there's a lot of these kind of buildings that date back a good few hundred years, whatever, in Glasgow, that are just getting left to rot, and it's a shame. But then again, I suppose every city in the world is the same, I suppose. But yeah, it's absolutely stunning. So fingers crossed that they can get the money for it and bring it back to its former glory. Sorry folks, a wee bit of misinformation here, I stand corrected. It's actually the Winter Gardens part of the People's Palace that's closed. The People's Palace itself, which is a sandstone building, which I'll move around to the front to a picture of that. That part's still open, but it's actually the basically the large greenhouse part that's closed down. Yeah, so it's absolutely, it's a stunning, absolutely beautiful building. So as, but there is another one, another beautiful building here. It used to be the Temple Carpet Factory, and it is absolutely gorgeous. So that was the Temple Carpet Factory. Never had Temple Carpets, obviously. It's been that shut down a good few years ago, but I think what they've done is they've turned it into office spaces and I think flats, if I'm sure. Yeah, so I mean they're rejuvenating some of the buildings here in Glasgow, turning them into dwellings and office spaces, because it is a shame that they're pulling half of them bloody down. But so we're just walking around the gardens just now, just to the front of the People's Palace, and a beautiful fountain that sits in the middle of the grounds. For all you lovers of Tennant's Lager and stuff, this is a Well Park brewery in the East End of Glasgow, where the Scottish Amber Nectar is brewed and canned. And there, up in the distance, with the scaffolding on it, is Glasgow Cathedral, which we'll be heading to, but first we need to go up to that, up top of the monument up there, which is into the necropolis, the graveyard for the rich and famous back in the day. So yeah, this is us into the Glasgow necropolis now. I've been here before and did the walk around here before on my own, but we're only basically just coming in the bottom gate of Well Park and coming out across the bridge to Glasgow Cathedral. But some of you may recognise this part of the necropolis because this was the graveyard that they used at the end of the Batman movie, the latest Batman movie, or the last Batman movie, where Batman and Catwoman were riding on motorcycles out of the graveyard. So this is where Christine, I've just caught Christine on video doing that. It looks just like Batman, she looks more like fucking Groot. So yeah, so this is where they rode down on the motorbikes at the end of the movie. That's down here. Hey, this building right in front of us here is part of the old building of the Glasgow Royal Infirmary, where Dr. Joseph Lister invented Listerine. No, I'm only joking. He pioneered sterilised surgical procedures here in Glasgow. So, all thanks to Dr. Lister, who prevented a lot of deaths that we can be thankful for in this modern age. I'm going to pan round. That's Glasgow Cathedral there, folks. Doing a lot of restoration work to the tower. Now, I don't know if you can see this on the lamppost there. I'll see if I can zoom in. That there is Glasgow's motto. It's the bird that doesn't sing, the tree that never grows, the fish that never swims, and the bell that never rings. Don't ask me why, I'll find out the actual meaning for it, and I'll put it up. This is the back of the St Mungo Museum. It's a religious museum for, I think it's all sorts of denominations, not just Christianity. So yeah, it's a lovely building as well. There is some beautiful churches round about Glasgow too, as you can see. Absolutely stunning. Before we cross over the road here, there is a building. Oh, it's still got the scaffolding in it actually, so you're nearly going to see a great deal of it. That building there, just behind Sharon and the girls, is that's yeah, pure good. Sorry. That is the oldest building in Glasgow. Again, the dates and that kind of escape me how old it actually is, but as I said earlier, I'll stick up quite a lot of links to Wikipedia for some of these beautiful buildings. Okie dokie. Catch you in a bit. Here's one for Mark and all you Doctor Who fans out there. If you ever wanted to know what Doctor Who does with his TARDIS when it's not getting in use, he actually uses it as a coffee shop. Only in Glasgow, folks. Folks, I've just come up to Goma, the Gallery of Modern Art here in Glasgow, and obviously the world famous Duke of Wellington statue, who's a permanent traffic cone on his head. The Glasgow City Council did remove it, and they have removed it a few times in the past, but it always finds its way back. This is us just walking up to George Square. For any of you horror fans out there, you may actually recognise this place. This was used in the opening scenes of World War Z with Brad Pitt. This is George Square. You remember when the helicopter was flying overhead and the guy turned into the zombie right in front of Brad Pitt? Well, that's where this was filmed. Amongst other movies, a lot of other movies filmed round about here as well. So yeah, Glasgow's becoming pretty famous now for film locations within the film industry. It's changed over the years. This square used to be full of trees, but they reckoned at one point quite a lot of them had Dutch elm disease, so they took them all down. I think it was either the late 70s, early 80s. And it used to be covered in red kind of tarmac, so it did get the nickname of Red Square, to be twinned with obviously Red Square in Moscow. But this is where the young people, myself included back in the day, used to get the late bus home. Yeah, it's quite a sight on a Friday, Saturday evening when this place is full of young people pissed up Yeah, it can be quite funny, but yeah, again, the buildings around about here are absolutely beautiful. That building right in front of us is Glasgow City Chambers. And as you can see, there's a load of other beautiful sandstone buildings. Apart from Queen Street Station, it just looks like a fucking big glass greenhouse. Anywho, Glasgow wouldn't be Glasgow without the sound of these things. There's always one. Hail Satan! Very multicultural. You come from the traditional pipes to the African drums. Absolutely amazing. This is us. We're now on Sauchiehall Street, at the north end of the city. God, this place has changed. I haven't been in Sauchiehall Street for a long time. This place used to be bustling. It used to be packed full of shops, and they're all shutting down. And there's the famous Glasgow Pavilion up there, and on the other side, which is now the Cineworld's multiplex, was the site of the even more famous Glasgow Apollo, where Cineworld is. And even it closed down a long time ago. So, yeah, it's a shame.